Why in the world would you pick up the same exact movie 2 times, 3 times, 4 times?
Did you just double dip?
In today's mega physical media news topic video, I'm going to be giving my thoughts on double dipping. Now, I know a million blue tubers have already discussed this topic, but I have not yet shared my thoughts. And I think you want to know the Mega Mike the Movie Man approach and all this good double dipping here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the pros of double dipping, the cons of double dipping, and then generally what I do with double dipping. Am I a double dipper, a triple dipper, a quadruple dipper, or none of the above? Let's talk about it.
Double dipped? What are you talking about?
First, to talk about the pros to double dipping and why some people partake in this collecting madness. Well, first, we want to upgrade the format. Whether it's DVD to Blu-ray, Blu-ray to 4K, you sprinkle in a little Dolby Vision in there. We just want to upgrade the format. We want to keep up with the times. Now, some people don't consider that a double dip. Totally get that. Fair point. Now, some people do consider it a double dip because you are collecting the same movie multiple times. Whatever you feel on that point, I will not argue with it today. But the main point of why people double dip, I believe, is to the artwork design and the collectability nature of these different editions. There's so many awesome, cool limited editions out there for certain movies. You get slip covers, still books, lenticular covers, retail exclusives, and people just want every edition of their favorite movie. For example, Avatar: The Way of Water came out not so long ago. That movie got a ton of different editions because it was a very popular movie, and I bet a fan of the movie collected every single edition. Same with John Wick Chapter 4. Tons of different editions for that movie, and I bet somebody collected every single edition because they just love the John Wick franchise. They want to have all these different editions in their collection on their shelves. Remember, a collection is like an art gallery, and they want to display their favorite movies proudly. So the more popular the movie, the more different editions it's going to get. Now, a big selling point to me about collecting different movies and different double dips and editions later on is if later on they get more special features added. Say a movie just got a standard Blu-ray release, but then a boutique label picks it up later on and then finds more special features to put into a release, like they go out, get more interviews, and ooh, now that is what can sell me on a double dip right there.
You took a bite and you dipped again.
Now talking about the cons to double dipping, and of course we gotta talk about the expense. Of course, buying a movie multiple times is more expensive than buying the movie once. So definitely can really hurt the wallet. And if you're spending money on the same movie multiple times, that means there's other movies you are not picking up. Of course, everybody has a limited set of resources, so you can't get everything out there, right? And then also limited shelving space. Once again, space is not unlimited for everybody out there. So once you start filling up those shelves, yeah, you can keep trying to get more shelves, but eventually you're going to run out of room. What do? Do you shove them into a box somewhere, but then you don't get to display them proudly? Then what was the point of the double dipping in the first place, right? So all these factors can definitely kind of damper the enjoyment of double dipping. In my opinion, it can get overwhelming at sometimes for collectors, can get a little out of hand, of course. But also another big one that I don't think many people have mentioned is that if people do keep double dipping on certain movies, then they're probably just going to focus on releasing more editions and format of that type of movie or franchise. An example would be the Jurassic World and Jurassic Park movies. It feels like they're always releasing different editions of that movie, which is super cool for fans of that franchise. And once again, I'm a fan of that franchise, which is great to always see, new editions come up. But sometimes it feels like as every year there's new editions released, and then we're missing out on getting editions of other movies that really need to be upgraded from Blu-ray to 4K. Because, of course, they're companies and they want to make the smart business decision. And if they know a certain franchise just sells really well, of course they're going to keep releasing that and not as much take a chance on maybe a Blu-ray that maybe not as many people have heard of. Why upgrade that one to 4K when we can keep releasing John Wick a million times? Hey, throw a dog cover on there and we'll sell it. We'll sell it somehow.
But I don't dip that way. Oh, you don't, huh? No.
Now to talk about my thoughts on double dipping and just what my individual approach is to the whole situation. And first of all, I just want to say, if people love double dipping, that is awesome. I celebrate that. Nobody should tell you how to spend your own money. So if you love double dipping, you get the joy out of it. Keep doing what you're doing. Just talking about my own individual approach in this section. So I'm really not a big double dipper at all. I will upgrade the formats of my favorite movies, especially if I'm taking a jump from DVD to 4K and it's a movie I really enjoyed, then I feel pretty confident about that upgrade because I know I'm going to be watching the movie multiple times. But that's really where I double dip. It's just in the upgrading of formats, and some people don't even consider that double dipping. I never double dip for different kinds of editions of a movie, like just a slipcover to a steelbook to a lenticular cover. That's not enough for me to at least pick up multiple copies of the same movie, just because I have a limited space, limited resources. So I'm trying to be more intentional in my collecting, and I rather get different movies I haven't seen before that aren't in my collection, and rather add that variety to my collection, just how I like to approach it once again individually. So really me, I'm not big into double dipping at all. I mean, just I don't really get as much enjoyment as some other people do into seeing the different cover arts on my own personal shelf. Once again, I would rather see different titles, have a variety of movies to pick from. Once again, I just have more limited space, so I can't get a ton of copies of the same movie because then I'm going to be missing out on other movies I do want to experience. So once again, that is just my individual approach, but I know everybody's different out there. So definitely let me know in the comments below. Are you a double dipper? How do you double dip? What are some of your favorite movies to double dip on? Let's have those fun movie conversations down below. And if you love collecting physical media just like me, make sure you subscribe right now. That way I can keep you entertained and up to date on all the latest physical media topics.
You dip the way you want to dip, I'll dip the way I want to dip.
And if you enjoy these physical media topics, check out another one right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters.